Hey everybody, welcome to Horror Face Off. I'm Jason, and this is Leighanne.
On this episode of Horror Face Off, we got 1996 from Dusk Till Dawn versus 2009 Zombieland.
It's zombies versus vampires and two classic comedies.
Next on Horror Face Off.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Horror Face Off. I am Jason, and I am joined by Leighanne, who is ready to kill some more people if they disobey the rules. And what are those rules? Well, we'll get to them in a second. But first, how's it going, Leighanne?
Good. I'm ready to kill. I'm really hoping some people talk too much.
Awesome. The sass level is like going up every episode. I love it. All right, so how is Leighanne going to kill? Well, she is going to be timing our awesome guests who are going to be providing valuable opinions. So it kind of seems like, counterintuitive, but at the same time, lines have to be drawn and Leighanne's going to enforce the law. People will say their opinions on the two movies in question. This episode we have from Dusk Till Dawn versus Zombieland. We'll have a number of categories. Everybody will have 40 seconds to make their case. And at the end, they'll appoint a winner of the category. We add them up at the end of the show, and only one film will remain. A reminder that none of the guests can opt for a tie in any category. And with that being said, let's meet our guests. And back on the show, I don't know how many. I'm going to have to go back and count how many. But we have Big John from Ohio. How's it going, John?
Going great. It's good to be back.
All right. And in my bottom corner, we have Megan joining us once again.
Hello.
And in the lovely vampire makeup, she always comes ready. Yeah, she comes ready to kill herself. And look at those teeth. Look at that. That's awesome. We have Tabri.
Hi, guys.
And finally, the man himself from Deadly Grounds Cafe. And he's in his cafe. So if it looks cool, go check it out. What's going on, Brad?
Hey, guys. What's happening?
All right. So before we start the show, I want to thank my awesome editor, Tanya Janelli. And I also want to give a shout out to Deadly Grounds. Not only is the cup in my hand, but I got the man himself in my bottom left-hand corner. So this is going to be a kick-ass episode. So let's get going. And I tend to start with John a lot. So why break precedent? With plot, we start with John. Go.
Yeah, thanks. I went with Zombieland for plot. It's got a very straightforward sort of sequence of events that it kind of lays out at the beginning and kind of plugs everybody into it really well. Dusk Till Dawn to me is kind of the plot sort of happens as it goes on, but it's kind of vague a lot, and it's more a sequence of events and scenarios without really a driving story. So just because Zombieland has that really specific driving story, and for just talking plot, I gave it to Zombieland.
All right. Megan.
All right, so I'm also going to give it to Zombieland because there's an actual premise with it where I kind of didn't like that from Dusk Till Dawn started off as like a crime thriller, and then about an hour in, 45 minutes to spare, we suddenly shift to the supernatural element, and I was like, whoa, where did this come from? So I like the way the plot was in Zombieland. I'm going to give it to Zombieland.
All right. Sabri, what do you got?
Right on. I actually agree with both Megan and John. I really liked the storyline with Zombieland. I loved how it progressed. I loved the addition of the rules and just everything. Whereas with Dusk Till Dawn, I find myself kind of, when are the vampires going to come in? If you know that there's vampires, but you don't know when it's going to happen, you're just kind of, I find myself waiting for them. And it's very obviously two different combinations of directors, right?
So Zombieland.
Yeah, Zombieland.
Megan, did you have a question?
Well, I wanted to add that at least with Zombieland 2, you kind of feel like you're part of it because he's talking to you.
Gotcha. All right. Okay. And now, before Brad gives his 2 cents, Brad is making all the contestants on this show jealous. Brad, let's show them what you're drinking there.
So tonight, I made the double tap. I kind of came up with it on the spot on the way here. And I remember what kind of syrups I had. And I thought, you know what? I could probably make, sorry, I can see it.
Yeah.
I could probably make a very good Twinkie tasting white mocha. And that's what I did. So it's espresso, milk, white chocolate base, and a cake flavored syrup that I used. And it is absolutely delicious. And not only is it a drink, but also your dessert too. So
that's an actual Twinkie, right? Yeah, there.
Oh yeah.
I love it.
40 seconds, go. No. All right. So I've talked about Deadly Grounds Canada many times on this show. Now you have actual visual proof of why you should go. Now,
I had to come here this week. Last time I was on the show, I did it from home, and I was like, I have to go to the cafe and film from there tonight because I don't have any good backgrounds at home. So
perfect.
That's why I came.
We're happy for that. And are you ready to go?
Yeah, I guess.
All right.
I'm just going to echo what our other 3 wonderful panelists said and also go with Zombieland. I love Zombieland. It's one of my favorite comedy horror movies. And I just liked how they introduced some new elements to that genre at the time when it came out in early 2000s or 2008, 2009, whatever it was. Can't remember. I watched From Dusk Till Dawn for the first time today. So I'm really fresh with that one. And I'm probably going to get buzzed out here, but I don't know what all the hype was. And maybe I need to watch it a few more times. But as far as plot, I found myself also being like, when are the vampires coming? And what am I watching right now? So definitely Zombieland for me.
All right.
And thanks for not buzzing me. I know I went past my
He
time.
survived.
You hit 40.01, and I was like, oh.
No.
Oh, so everybody survives round 1. I'm a little shocked that Dusk Till Dawn got shut out in that one. I don't know. Leighanne, what about you? No?
I mean, I'm a big fan of From Dusk Till Dawn, so I'm a little surprised.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're going to move on to setting. And for this, we're going to start with Tabri. And before we do, I don't want to show favoritism here, but what are you drinking?
I am actually drinking blood. No.
Okay, awesome. Stop.
It's
Leave it at that.
sangria.
Okay. That would have been so cool. Okay. All right. Well, next show. All right. Are you ready to go?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay. Your 40 seconds starts now.
Right on. So setting wise, I actually also chose Zombieland. I just found more of a variety of it. Is a little bit more relatable if you were in that scenario. Heading to Beverly Hills would be an awesome, idea. And the carnival, the fair at the end. I just loved the development of the story itself and the development of the locations. So the setting for me, I choose Zombieland. Whereas I don't run out of time, so Dusk Till Dawn. Simple setting wise.
All right, awesome. Okay, Megan.
Okay, so I agree with her. Like, I like that there was different. Like, you got to see Bill Murray first of all. There was just so many different places setting wise. And it was kind of like you were there, you were experiencing the zombie apocalypse. It's talking to you, and I don't know, you're like there. And From Dusk Till Dawn, I mean, I think that there was a lot that went into like the Titty Twister bar, but there just wasn't much as far as settings going on there. It was pretty straightforward from one to the next. Ooh, I lost my headphone.
Can I pipe in that the liquor store at the beginning is like so classic and so perfect though, and like that.
Yeah,
I loved it.
And when he's on fire, he's like, "I'm not going down without a fight."
Yeah, awesome.
That had to have been over 40 seconds.
I mean, that was a hard one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do I start timing a both? Like,
Yeah, no, I know. Okay, it's all good.
Found the
It's like-
loophole.
I no. Don't worry, we're gonna start cracking that whip. By the way, I just want to point out to everybody that's watching that Megan is drinking wine with a straw. All right, John, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Go for it.
For setting, I did go from Dusk Till Dawn. I think it doesn't have as many sets, but they're very specific and they're very important to the story that they're telling. And they are pretty stylish the way they shoot them and the way they use them. Zombieland's great, it's cool, but it does kind of feel like they're just driving around doing road trip movie stuff in the places that always kind of pop up in these kind of movies. So I give it from Dusk Till Dawn because the setting is kind of more integral to the characters and the stories and the themes and what they're trying to do.
As usual, well spoken. All right, Brad.
So I thought I would go with Zombieland because I certainly do love the setting. I love right from his apartment to going to Beverly Hills and everything in the amusement park. I thought was really great. But having just watched From Dusk Till Dawn and the detail that went into, like you said, the liquor store, that looks so amazing. That opening scene just got me with that movie. I'm like, this is going to be a ride. Then it wasn't for a while, so that's okay. But then it became a ride again, and I like that setting as well. So I'm going to give it to From Dusk Till Dawn just because I think they really did outdo themselves with the 2 to 3 major sets that they were using.
All right, not bad. Okay, so now we will move on to filmmaking. I'm pretty pumped to hear what Megan has to say first.
Oh, for the filmmaking? That was really hard for me because I think they both did such a really good job with it. I might give it From Dusk Till Dawn though, just because like the way that they executed the shift from crime thriller to the supernatural element is not an easy feat, but they still managed to do it and do it pretty well. So I'm going to give it to From Dusk Till Dawn this time.
All right. Okay. Brad, you're up.
Yeah, this is a very tough one because they're very different movies, and they're shot in very different periods. Really, not too different, but different enough. And of course, they have such different people behind them. I'm going to give it to Zombieland just because I just love that movie, and I mean it keeps me. I'll watch it tonight if I go home because I can watch that movie whenever. From Dusk Till Dawn, I want to watch again, but I don't know if it's on my radar to in the near future. Even I have a lot of questions after watching it, but I don't know. Zombieland, I just think it's filmed better.
All right. Okay, John.
I'm giving this one too From Dusk Till Dawn a little begrudgingly. I think it's stylish and I think it's well made, but I do think Tarantino and Rodriguez were a little full of themselves on this one. And we're kind of going over the top, trying to make it weird and edgy, at the expense of kind of making it logical sometimes. And to me, Zombieland's great, but it's just very straight ahead Hollywood movie filmmaking, and that's perfectly okay. But if we're looking at style of filmmaking, I think From Dusk Till Dawn, Rodriguez just naturally the way he shoots things is going to be a little more outlandish and stylish and cool.
All right. Sabri.
All right. Yeah, I actually chose Dusk Till Dawn as well. I love Quentin Tarantino, and that was kind of an easy choice for me. It's hard to not talk about him as the character as well, because I know we'll talk characters later. So just to talk about like the style of the film making, like I absolutely love his weirdness, his quirkiness, how uncomfortable he makes you at times. And then the switch in the story to the vampires. And what was the director's name? Rodriguez. Like I loved that combination of the two.
Yeah, killed her. Sorry. I'm sorry, Sabri. Yeah. That's the first one of the night. Not bad. All right, but your point was made. Did you actually pick?
I chose From Dusk Till Dawn.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So I mean, shout out to that opening sequence with Metallica and everything. That was pretty cool. The first time you see it, you can't help but just like be like, okay, you're in on this movie, like all right, so for that, this one's kind of should be a fun one as well. We'll see if it's split or one-sided. Characters, and for this one, we're gonna start off with the biggest character on the panel, Brad.
Oh boy. I mean, I have a love-hate relationship with Jesse Eisen, whatever his name is. He kind of annoys me in a lot of everything, and he does kind of annoy me in this. But I think Woody Harrelson kind of, counters that in a pretty good way. And then introducing Chloe Grace Moritz and the other girl was Emma Stone. Was it Emma Stone? Yeah, it was really good. But I mean, you can't help but love the Gecko brothers. I mean, that was a rush, and especially how weird like Tarantino's brother Richie is. Like, it was fun to watch them, right? And then even the interactions with the family and Juliette Lewis. And,
Dead.
Did I say what I was going to say though? Can't remember.
I don't know who the won.
Who won?
From Dusk Till Dawn.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. There's a tactic, right? You save your answer till the end because even if you run out of time,
then you're going to get it.
You still need it, right? So, all right. So we're gonna move on to Megan.
All right. So I don't feel like there was a whole lot as far as like character development in From Dusk Till Dawn. The best character, hands down, for me was the dad, the pastor dad. He was just the one that stood out the most to me. And I would have to say that the Zombieland characters, they all had kind of their own backstory, little misfits that kind of band together despite their trust issues and things like that. I think they have such diverse backgrounds and things, and coming together, I just really like that. So I'm going to give it to them.
All right. Debris.
Right. This was a really hard decision for me because I love Zombieland and I love Tarantino and I love George Clooney. Like it was a really hard decision. So, breaking it down, it's hard to talk about characters without talking about acting. And for me, good acting evokes an emotion in you. And Tarantino's character made me so uncomfortable. And the juxtaposition between the brothers and the whole trip that Tarantino's character takes you on really kind of made me very uncomfortable. And I choose Dusk Till Dawn.
Just as she dies. That's 2 deaths in a row. All right, but
I'm already dead.
But but you got it out. All right, John.
All right, so for characters, for me, this one was a little bit easier. I definitely went with Zombieland. I mean, they're definitely a much more upbeat and intentionally sort of relatable group of people. Again, the comedy's driven to make the characters more entertaining. From Dusk Till Dawn, the characters are very well defined, but they also kind of annoy me a lot. Like, I don't really, the family's like, just shoot them. I don't care. And I'm going to be very unpopular when I say this, but I don't like Quentin Tarantino as an actor. I just think he comes off as, again, really self-indulgent. And I just wish there was an actor playing that part. So I give it to Zombieland because those characters are just genuinely a lovable group of people.
All right.
I don't think Tarantino's a good actor. I just like the horrible, monstrous characters that he plays.
Fair enough. That's I think that's a good thing. Yeah, I don't think anybody would really credit him with being a great actor. And it's so Jesse, it was Eisenberg, right? I think. Yeah. So when I saw Zombieland for the first time, I liked him. Since then, that guy is just gone for me. So it's so hard to watch that movie now because of him, and it's a shame. But all right.
I like how nobody's mentioned how hot Salma Hayek was as a character in that.
Oh.
She was in here.
I ran out of time.
Thank you.
Yeah, I
Only
could go
half
into
40
depth
seconds,
more
man.
if I wasn't so worried about the 30 seconds. Like, I'm like, I don't want to die, but I can say so much more.
All right. Next category is how hot was Salma Hayek? And for this one, we're going to start off with John. Put you on the spot. No, okay. Don't get in trouble. All right.
On Salma Hayek.
But I do agree. I agree with you. I think we all did. So it's all good. All right. So for the next one, we're going to go with kills. This should be fun. And for this, we'll start off with Megan.
I must have a type because I really seem to love the horror funny. I have to give it to Zombieland. There's just too many interesting kills in that one for me. And From Dusk Till Dawn, they were kind of a little more straightforward, I guess. I mean, there's just too many good kills in Zombieland. How do you go against that? Zombieland.
Zombieland. Megan.
And Bill Murray. I mean, come on, he thought he shot Bill Murray. Like, Bill Murray, no!
You know, you shoehorned Bill Murray into two categories, and not one of them was characters. All right.
They should have. Missed opportunity.
All right. So for the next one, we'll go to John.
For kills, I actually gave it from Dusk Till Dawn, just for that whole sequence in the Titty Sister bar where it all kind of hell breaks loose, no pun intended. The kills in Zombieland are great, but zombie kills are kind of a dime a dozen to me. Just every movie does a billion zombie kills, and they're all ridiculous and gross, and they're great. But I love how Robert Rodriguez shoots violence, and it's very stylish to get to that big, endless scene of carnage there, kind of towards the end of From Dusk Till Dawn.
All right. Brad, I haven't seen you like sucking down on that Twinkie drink in a while.
Oh man, it's gone.
Is it? Oh, okay.
Yeah. I need another.
You need another. Okay, so he's gonna be so hyper by the end of the show. All right. Brad, you're up.
So yeah, getting to the Titty Twister bar and the kills there, they were great in From Dusk Till Dawn, and that's when it kind of really picked up for me, and I was like, oh man, that looks cool, and like the green ooze, I'm a fan for green ooze, and that's always cool to me. But I mean, I gotta give it to Zombieland. Like, I mean, the kill of the day, like that, some of those unique kills just got me, especially at the time. Like, I think back now when I started just thinking about that, the kill of the day, I was like, oh my god, remember the piano? I remember that, like that. That's so cool, right? So yeah, definitely Zombieland for me.
All right. Let's go to the blood-sucking vampire herself, Tabri.
I chose Zombieland because I like movies. I know this should have gone under another category, but I like movies that draw attention to like movie quirks, say Scream and the rules. I really liked that aspect, and so it was a fun killing spree. It was like, zombie kill of the week, and it's like I always think of little ways of zombie kill of the week that would be funny. And so I think I had more fun with Zombieland. Dusk Till Dawn, again, they were gruesome, they were gory. I have to add that the glue.
Okay, I'm gonna because I'm intrigued of what she was gonna say. So this won't count to your 40 seconds, but
it's just a reply to Brad's comment in the group, is that SFX artists, it's less nowadays, but they hold their own secret recipes to things, green goo and slime being one of them. They won't share their recipe on slime with you. It's a top secret.
That's awesome.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
There we go. So everybody's happy that I let you continue. So, all right. Okay, so we will go to for this next one. John, did you go?
Not for this one.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Sorry, John.
Is this?
This is kills.
Oh, I did kills. Yeah,
you did kills. All right. Okay. So I thought so. Okay. So Leighanne, you have all the votes, right?
Sure do.
All right. Okay. So now we'll move on to the next category. And it's a little bit tricky with this one for being a comedy horror, but scare factor. So we'll see what creative answers we can get from our panelists. And for this, we'll start off with the man I was going to go with, John.
Yeah, which a lot of people will probably say the same thing. Neither of these movies are scary. I mean, they're not meant to be really. There's some intensity. But I went with Zombieland just because there is kind of the fight at the end on the roller coaster, whatever kind of ride that is. There is the scene where Amber Heard turns into a zombie and chases him around. So those are kind of some cool chase scenes that they're not genuinely scary, but they're in the right place. There was nothing scary to me about From Dusk Till Dawn. Like I said, it was a crime drama, and then it became just kind of a splatter, violent movie.
That must have been close. Yeah, what was that at? It was close?
33.
Oh, okay. I thought it was closer. All right, Megan.
I have to give it begrudgingly to From Dusk Till Dawn because it had more of that serious tone, where Zombieland, the most scare factor that you probably had was the two scenes that he mentioned with Amber Heard just suddenly switching, the anxiety buildup of all the zombies at the amusement park. But for me, From Dusk Till Dawn, it took a real drastic turn, and you were like, who's making it out alive? Who's not making it out alive? oh my god, his brother's a vampire and he's already a psychopath. Like, what's going to happen? Not that much, but you know.
Oh, we killed you. Nice.
By how much though? By how much?
Nice. Yeah, but you're dead.
I still got the kill.
Yeah. Leighanne doesn't care. Oh, that's it. That's perfect. Look at that. That's showmanship right there. We love that. All right. Sabri, scare factor.
All right. Well, it was pretty straightforward for me because zombie clown wins it. Vampires don't really scare me. They never really have. It's not my monster. Whereas that zombie clown, terrifying. And the actor did such a good job. The effects on that were so good. Like, it was disgusting. The slime coming out of his mouth, just like, ugh, terrifying. So I choose the scare factor for Zombieland, even though neither of them are really scary movies. Megan isn't right about it being more intense, anxiety inducing in Dusk Till Dawn.
Oh, it counts. Dead.
Was it?
Yeah.
Joining me in the afterlife.
Look at these ladies. I love it. Scream
Wait,
queens in the making.
can I add something though in the afterlife from the great beyond?
Sure, since you died.
Can we also just include how like insane all the vampires even are in From Dusk Till Dawn? Like, you've got one that looks like a rat, another one that looks like a snake, and I was like, what is going on here?
Yeah,
but anyways, carry on.
It's true. Good, well, valid point. Good point. All right, Brad.
Yeah, so I don't get scared from movies very much anymore. Neither of these, of course, are scary, or the scare factor's not there. But a little known fact is, if there is one sector of monster or whatever that scares me, it is zombies. I've always been afraid of zombies, and I'll tell you my Return of the Living Dead story another time. But zombies have always scared the crap out of me since I was 6 years old, and they still do. So I'm giving it to Zombieland, especially for the clown zombie, but just for zombies in general. Zombies scare me more than vampires, so Zombieland, but not scary. Very.
All right. Fair
Sprinting zombies are terrifying.
Oh God, the Dawn of the Dead zombies, like remake.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Right.
Well, while we're at it, I would say for me, like, if I were to something that would scare me from when I started with horror and stuff, still kind of does, are werewolves. Leighanne, what about you?
Oh, you know I love them. I love werewolves.
You love them, but do you love them because they scare you, or
steroids? I mean, I love dogs. I love horror. I don't like dogs being killed, so I like them killing people. It's perfect.
All right. Okay. Well, there's always some different logic. Me, it's just more or less. I just feel like, what are you gonna do? Yeah, they're too strong, but that's cool. All right. So with that, we move on to the next category, which is antagonist, and this one could be, I guess, up to interpretation, but or it could be very general. For this, we will start with Sabri, because she looks like she's thinking.
I am. I didn't have an answer for this one because I almost want to say Emma Stone is almost the antagonist to our main character in Zombieland. She's the one he struggles with the most, other than the zombies. Dusk Till Dawn, it's again kind of hard to place in the whole movie. It's kind of Tarantino being the problem. So I really don't know who to choose. So I think I'm just gonna go with the fact that I really get creeped out by Quentin Tarantino, and I'm gonna vote Dusk Till Dawn.
All right. Sometimes people go and they say their opinion, they change your mind or whatever. I doubt Sabri did that with anybody on that answer, but no offense. But we will move on to Brad.
I also found this one very, very tough because, I mean, if you really wanted to lay it out, it's the zombies and the vampires, right? But not really. I mean, the characters that these people, I mean, I do agree with Sabri in a lot of respects in this because, we like the Gecko brothers kind of, but I mean, they're really assholes. They're bank robbers. They're not good people. They just shoot, they shot the sheriff at the beginning, and they're not good guys. They're antagonists, but then we're supposed to like them all of a sudden because they're killing the vampires, so I'd go with probably both of them as being like the antagonist for me. But it's hard. This is a tough category.
she makes sure she gets it in. But you went with Dusk Till Dawn? Was it Dusk Till Dawn?
Yeah,
Oh,
yes,
okay.
I did. Yeah.
All right, so we'll move on to Megan. Well, actually, I do want to say there's a very artsy answer in trying to throw Emma Stone as the antagonist. I don't think many people would have ever thought to do that, so that was kind of interesting. All right, Megan, you ready?
Honestly, that's what's got my brain really like got my gears going because I was like, they are kind of like their own subset of antagonists that I didn't even think about, to be honest. Because at first I was gonna go with Dusk Till Dawn, but I mean, the way you look at it, anybody can become an antagonist. You can become a zombie, you can become a vampire. You never really know. But now I'm going to give to Zombieland because that's a good thought process. And every time they think they can trust each other, they leave again. Lost, no resources. So you're not just battling zombies, you're battling humans too.
Okay. didn't hear the mic drop, so sorry.
No double tap here.
Yeah, so this category is kind of playing out is the way I was kind of hoping because it is all up in the air. All right, John.
Yeah, I kind of had the same quandary everybody's having because really the Gecko brothers are the antagonists, and then the thing kind of switches midway through, and they don't really become protagonists, but it's just the situation gets really bizarre, and you're just kind of trying to see who survives, and even if you're not invested in wanting someone to survive. But because of all, I kind of gave it to Zombieland just because we know who the antagonists are. It's a bunch of zombies. So to me, that if it's just this category, it's just much easier to pick them because we know they're the bad guys and who we're trying to get around.
All right, and John stays away from the knife still.
I think I've never been killed, if my memory is correct.
See, now
we
you
gotta change that.
Now, I was gonna say, now you're gonna be rushing your answers just so you don't die. All right, all right.
I think you need to run a leaderboard on your
on your
Instagram or something. You know, you should have a leaderboard like that's just always tallying up the kill count.
Slashes.
It's coming, Brad. It's coming.
Megan,
I just have a thought about protagonist, antagonist. Is that for me the reason I chose Emma Stone is because for me the protagonist is the person that the story is following, and you're meant to in some way empathize or relate or sympathize with their scenario, and the antagonist is the person who causes them problem. You know, that's why I chose Emma Stone is because she fucks with his mind the most.
Oh, yeah, it totally makes sense. I agree.
Yeah, it was a really interesting thought process, and really, it's what steered my answer because I was like, it's a whole separate subset of antagonists, and it's not just the straight villain. It's kind of like the premise of Walking Dead. People are who you got to look out for too.
You know, it's funny. We started off that segment saying, well, I don't think anybody's going to really agree with Tabri. And that whole segment was based around everybody giving Tabri props for her opinion. So what the hell do I know? Yeah.
Right there. Oh, let me just get that.
Yeah, that nullifies one of your bets. All right. Okay. So now we move on to a cool category, movie posters now. And we're going with the original movie poster. So I know this is the part where everybody grabs their phones and starts looks up their posters, and I don't blame you because in a way these two don't really have the most well-defined posters. But John, you look at least ready. So
I'm ready.
You're the only one looking at the screen, so let's go with John.
I went from Dusk Till Dawn. You're right; they're just pictures of the casts. To clarify, the original From Dusk Till Dawn poster is not the one with Salma Hayek on it, but I'm still picking that poster because I just think it's a more stylish shot of the cast standing there. It's it's the shot of Clooney with the gun pointing right at the camera, so that's really cool. And the Zombieland poster is just cast photo 101 poster that everybody makes these days.
All right, okay, Brad, you look quasi ready.
I am quasi ready. Yep.
Okay. All right.
I agree with John 100%. I mean, the one thing that you could say about, the From Dusk Till Dawn poster, it is fairly generic, but it does still go for that kind of B movie, midnight cinema kind of style, and with the colors that they chose and everything. So, I give it to them for that. And Zombieland is just a Photoshop job. I mean, that's all it is.
All right. Sabri.
I feel like this might be a sweep category, but I definitely agree with Dusk Till Dawn. I just find it more of an artistic effort than Zombieland. I mean, Zombieland's kind of fun. It shows you the characters. It shows you kind of, you know, that's about it. I choose Dusk Till Dawn.
Okay, Megan. Let's see if you're gonna break the sweep or go along with the gang. Leighanne's gonna start the timer. Poster, you're up.
Me?
Yep.
Oh, geez. Okay. Sorry. I missed what everybody else said, so that stinks. Okay. I'm gonna go with From Dusk Till Dawn also. Because I heard what the one guy said too. I like that it says one night is all that stands between them and freedom. And that it's like the dusk till dawn, because they just have to make it till dawn and all the shit. And that dusk. And then you don't really know what it's about per se, but you can see the little bats coming. So it's like a.
Yeah. All right. He staves off death.
It's kind of funny though, like you didn't see the rest of our answers, so it would have been hilarious if she came back and was like so pro Zombieland.
I was waiting for that. I was waiting for that.
Yeah, Zombieland.
See, but it goes to show, right? Like people influence your answers, because if you go last and you're like really, headstrong on something, you might still go with it, but you kind of go with it apologizing the whole way through. All right, so we're up to the end, the final category, and for this, we are going to start off with Brad.
The ending was that? Sorry, yeah. I mean, I love the ending of Zombieland. I think just the for me, I loved it because it did leave you thinking, oh my god, they're gonna make another one. I love this movie so much that they're gonna make another one, and then they did, and I'm like, oh god, why did they make another one? They, from Dusk Till Dawn, it's a great ending, but it certainly also leaves you kind of thinking. You gotta and I had to rewind it, or I guess play it back, and just to kind of watch the ending again, because I'm like, okay, am I interpreting the ending? And then after that, I actually went online and looked again, because I'm like, it just was a lot to take in, how it was all kind of wrapping up. I'm gonna give it to From Dusk Till Dawn.
You still get killed, but you got your answer in. He's smart now. He's picked up.
I changed my mind at the end though. I was going to go with Zombie, and then I went with From Dusk Till Dawn. So
yeah,
there we go.
Dusk Till Dawn.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'll do it.
All right, and props to you for saying rewind. No.
It's like, yeah, rewind. Yeah.
Right? Yeah, but there's a lot of people that would watch this probably saying, "What's rewind?" All right, but not us. All right, all right, John, you're up.
I went back and forth on this too, but I am also going with From Dusk Till Dawn. I laughed because they both kind of have the same ending, which is people getting in cars and driving away. But Zombieland is just a very straightforward, sort of happily ever after kind of ending, although the world's not improved. But I like that Zombieland kind of asked sort of a heavy question and had Clooney's character kind of make a strong choice, and the same for Juliette Lewis to kind of be stuck in that position she's stuck in at the end. So just artistically speaking, I think From Dusk Till Dawn's ending is stronger.
Even when he seems to go on, he still finishes before the 40 freaking seconds.
Well, 10 seconds to spare. I mean, I'm never going to get this guy.
No, we'll get him. We'll get
the Laurie Strode of this.
John, what's your favorite horror film?
Mine is Nightmare on Elm Street.
Okay, I was gonna say we got to get him on to talk about that, but I think we did.
And do it.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, geez. All right. Well, we got to get something passionate, I guess, and then we'll keep him. All right, Megan, you're up. Last time for the night.
All right, so I'm giving it to Zombieland because I like that you had everybody from such diverse backgrounds and all of the issues that they overcame. And, it took the girls going off one more time and really needing their help for them to be like, all right, we're going to be a family. And then From Dusk Till Dawn, it just didn't hit right. I love Carlos. Carlos finally shows up after all this crap just hits the fan. But it just is left so ambiguous that I just kind of didn't really resonate with me. So, Zombieland. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Sabri, the final opinion of the night.
Okay. I'm going to leave my answer to the end because I don't know yet. But I had a really hard time because it actually I found both endings kind of anticlimactic. I guess that's the point of an ending, but anyways, is that there were I kind of went off the errors that were made. I'm a big stickler for little errors, and like I don't understand why the girls dumped the Hummer, why they tucked and rolled out of the Hummer. That created the whole end scene. It just was like a stupid decision. So I didn't like that. Whereas in the Quentin Tarantino in Dusk Till Dawn, George Clooney's gun fires more than 6 times. But I checked it. It's actually a Rodriguez.
Yeah.
I'm just going to continue. It's a Rodriguez thing.
Wow. I always look when it gets close. I look at Leighanne and like she's starting to get a little bit excited. Her shoulders are going up a little bit.
I didn't get your answer though. What did you choose?
Dusk Till Dawn. I say that confidently.
All right, and more importantly, when you snapped, did you use your thumb and your pointer finger?
Me?
Oh yeah. Okay, I thought you used this, and I thought I picked up. I was like, how the heck?
That would be hard.
Yeah, no, I thought you did it though.
I double layer them.
No, that's how I do it. I do it with my first one.
Really?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, I can kind of do it.
Oh, I can't even imagine. Oh, wait, no, that's better. I've been doing it wrong for 43 years. This is crazy.
There we go. Everybody's learning, and
the end of the show is just
improving and improving. We had a couple of death scenes on.
You do this?
No, I remember that.
Just like pulls their face off.
So, I think this was a pretty close battle. I know Leighanne's tabulating the winner, and we'll have that. It looks like very, very soon. But I want to give kudos to the two ladies who not only died on the show, but actually did a little bit of an impromptu death scene. So, good job. All right, Leighanne, are we ready?
Yeah, we're ready.
Take it away.
Oh, I gotta say, this is a first. We have a tie. We have a tie.
All right.
We need a tiebreaker.
We do.
We do have a tiebreaker category.
I think Salma Hayek is the tiebreaker.
Yeah, right?
We do have a tiebreaker, and that tiebreaker is going to be Leighanne. But how is it going to happen? We are going to ask one of our guests here to pick a number between 1 and 9, and I'm going to go with Tabri since you have blood on your lips. You came to play.
Full number?
1 to 9. You pick 1 to 9, and
Decimals?
I'll take it from there. No, it's a whole number. Oh my god, I haven't heard that since high school. All right, you got it?
Yeah.
Okay, what's your number?
Oh, I thought she'd guess it.
No,
7. It's
7. Okay, so. And it's funny because this was a very split category. Leighanne, whatever you pick for antagonist is going to win this horror face-off.
Oh, man. And Tabri, you got in my head on that one. You did with the Emma Stone thing. That was just...
Do we time her?
Oh, and go.
Time yourself.
Okay, well, you know what? Like the brothers too much. So I think that they're terrible people, that they are so great at being terrible, and I like vampire. I have to give it till From Dusk Till Dawn, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, why?
I feel like everybody here liked Zombieland so much. I was really surprised that it wasn't more of a sweep on that. We did have a tie.
Look, there's nothing unfortunate about it. It's tied. Yeah, I think it was pretty split all the way through. So it didn't surprise me, actually. I was thinking it was kind of trending that way. So in the most narrow of wins, it will be From Dusk Till Dawn that goes into the win column with what was the score?
18-18 originally. So that's 19 to...
So, we'll say 18-18. We'll do soccer scores here. All right. So, the winner is From Dusk Till Dawn. And, you know what? That's what we want. We always want close matchups, and that's what we got. It started off really strong for Zombieland. I was a little worried there. I think they got the first, 6 categories or something like that. But But yeah, so thank you to this awesome panel for joining and adding their colorful opinions to the show. Leighanne, thanks for
Killing?
Yeah, thanks for killing. Thanks for killing it and deciding it in the end. So that was the first for you. Oh, look at that. So for everybody on the panel, I'd like to thank everybody for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you on the next Horror Face Off. Take care.